Hello everyone, welcome to the J72 Gaming channel. My name is Jacob, but you can just call me Jay here. And in today's video, I hope to help you all out by letting you know the difference between two of the leading dinosaur survival games that we have available to play. On one side of the table, we have the Isle, which boasts a highly realistic environment and atmosphere to your gameplay session, while on the other side of this table, we have Path of Titans, which is bringing the MMO twist to the dinosaur survival genre. Both of these games are absolutely fantastic ideas and concepts in my opinion, but both are still deep in the development cycle. So let's deep dive into each game, and hopefully I can help you figure out which one you want to spend some of your time with. So without further ado, make sure you kick back, sit back, go grab a snack, and let's get into this comparison video between the Isle and Path of Titans. So what is the Isle? So right off the bat here, I want to bring to your attention that the Isle has two versions of the game that is currently available to the public. The game was originally created and put on Steam in December of 2015 and continued development up until later 2019. It was at this point where the developers decided they need to take a step back and reevaluate the game that they were making. They came to the conclusion that they needed to rework the game's code and systems to make their game up to the standards that they wish to produce. What this has led to is the two versions of the game, the first one called Legacy and the new version being called Evrima. I have made a video going into deep detail between the two versions of this game, so if you'd like a more informational video on that topic, please feel free to check out that video. In this comparison, however, I'm going to be focusing on comparing the Evrima branch to Path of Titans, as both are at a similar place as far as development goes, and the legacy version of the Isle is great, but let's take a look at what Evrima and Path of Titans has to offer right now. What Evrima has to offer. So Evrima has, in my opinion, the most realistic graphics and gameplay that a dinosaur survival game has to offer currently. The game plays out like this. You choose your dinosaur from between a few herbivores and carnivore options, and then choose your spawn point. From there, you will spawn as a tiny juvenile dinosaur, tasked with surviving the wilds, finding food and water, and avoiding the players in the server who most likely want to make you their next meal. Evrima has a cohesive sniffing mechanic that will help guide you and your chosen dinosaur to food, water, and even corpses of other dead unfortunate players or AI. You're able to group up with friends if you can locate them by using a specific voice call, helping aid your survival attempt to grow up to full adult, or use these calls to hear prey or even dangerous carnivores roaming the Isle Spiral map. Now, I'll be honest with you all, that's all about Evrima has to offer at face value at the current time of recording this, but Path of Titans has about equal amount of content as well. It's important to remember that both of these games are in early development, with Evrima being remade from the legacy version, and Path of Titans still technically in a demo state. A lot of the appeal of these games currently is simply being a dinosaur and enjoying your time in the maps exploring, hanging out with other dinosaurs, and most importantly, combat. But I'll get back to that soon. Let's take a quick look at what Path of Titans currently has available for us to explore. What Path of Titans has to offer. So Path of Titans. I have put much more time into the Isle over these years, so Path of Titans is relatively new for me. But that being said, this game has already surprised me in many different ways. Like I said earlier, Path of Titans is hoping to bring an MMO aspect to the dinosaur survival genre. Specifically, this means that you, as a player, will have quests that you'll be able to attempt and complete during your time as your chosen dinosaur. These quests will reward you with coins upon completion that are used to unlock skins currently. Later down the road, these coins may be used for a wider range of unlockables like abilities, but that feature is not currently in the demo build. Now, Path of Titans does not look as realistic or have quite as good as graphics as Evrima, in my opinion, but that does not mean that Path of Titans does not have aspects of visuals gaining it favor. And what I mean by this is that the map of Path of Titans is already humongous, full of extremely creative nature features, and even has names for all of these spots. I can't stress this enough, the map in Path of Titans is easily the most impressive feature the game has to offer for me, but I'm also someone who loves just wandering these maps in these games, often trying to find the cool nooks and crannies hidden away, and well, Path of Titans just scratches that itch a bit for me, better than Evrima. So now that we have a bit of a rough outline for each of these dinosaur survival games, let's get our hands dirty and dive even deeper into what each of them has to offer that is different and unique to each. Let's start off with Evrima. What makes Evrima unique? There are a few aspects of Evrima which make the time you spend playing unique and special. First off, each dinosaur in Evrima has a special ability. This feature is new to Evrima as it was not in the legacy version, and the range of how effective and useful these abilities are vary from dinosaur to dinosaur, but include things like the head charge for the Carnotaurus or a pouncing mechanic for the Utah Raptors. The new little Hypsilophodon can spit up poison to try to blind others, and the Tenontosaurus has multiple attacks like a tail slam, a bite, and a claw swipe. These abilities make each dinosaur you play feel very unique and add a ton of gameplay flavor to each life you live out on the island. The sniffing mechanic I mentioned earlier is also very core in Evrima, and it aids the player in everything you do. Sniffing to locate the closest water and food is crucial for a player, and the ability to use it proactively as a predator makes hunting extremely engaging and exciting to do. You also have access to things like dragging corpses after a kill or wallowing in the mud to become untrackable for short times afterwards. These abilities and sniffing mechanics are not in Path of Titans, so Evrima has a bit more variety in physically controlling the dinosaurs, which could be the reason to choose Evrima over Path of Titans. Combat in Evrima is also very well done in my opinion, and if you check out my Evrima versus Legacy video, I discussed in more detail why I prefer it over the old version. But it basically boils down to one word: collision. In Evrima, you feel the weight of your dinosaur, and the power behind each bite or tail swing. Connecting your attacks feels right, and you do more damage depending on where your attacks land. So attacking a Stegosaurus in the neck will do more damage than biting on the thigh or the leg. Overall, combat is extremely fun in Evrima, and is the main point I'd like to stress if you're looking for a PvP dinosaur game. However, Path of Titans has its own niche to boast about, so let's talk about that. What makes Path of Titans unique? The main aspect that may draw you into Path of Titans is the MMO questing system. This feature alone is the reason I dove into the game, but I was surprised to find even more unique gameplay systems hiding away in this game. So to be upfront with the questing system, it's a fantastic idea, and allowing players to have a goal at all times is an absolutely golden gameplay choice. However, at its current demo build, it is very basic go here quest or a collect 30 to 50 of XYZ items, which is a good start, but won't necessarily hold your attention for too long. What can hold your attention, however, is what the quest rewards offer, and that is a new and unique skin for your dinosaur. Each skin costs about the same, but unlocks progressively as you unlock more colors for the skin you chose. This can lead to some really cool looking dinosaurs, as well as some exotic looking ones which may or may not be realistic. Things like electric blue stripes, or something akin to abstract art. These crazy skins may not be for everybody, but there are plenty of realistic looking options to mess with as well. They also had a new diet update recently, which added a water quality system to the game as well. Basically, the more players who drink from lakes and ponds will lower the quality of the water. Once the quality is so low, the water will become undrinkable and the fish inside will die off. This forces players to move across the map, and has already made the map feel much more alive with players in the few play sessions that I've had since the update. Spending time with your dinosaur to roam the map, complete quests, and unlock skins is a really fun gameplay loop that I'm excited to see play out in Path of Titans. What we need to see now, however, is more variety and options for the player to involve themselves in. Combat is also pretty basic, but does offer multiple types of attacks for some dinosaurs, usually a bite and a tail swing. So while basic, it does offer a decent bit of fun during combat to be had. So this brings us to the next section of this video that I want to discuss. Obviously, both of these games are in really early states, so while Evrima may only have a few dinosaurs to choose from, and Path of Titans may only have so many quests to embark on, both of these games have a very promising development plan for the future. So let's check out what these games hope to bring to us coming down the road. What Evrima hopes to bring to the table. So Evrima has a roadmap that they have released to the public for all of us to get excited about what's to come. On here you can see many of the update plans, notable updates like things such as Update 3, which will be here, and I hesitate to say this based off my last video's comment section, very soon, and will add aquatic and flying dinosaurs. Update 4 plans to bring perks into the game, allowing for each dinosaur to feel even more unique than they already did, and allowing you to spec into different builds for those dinosaurs. Update 5 is a huge, insert sauropod joke here, one in my opinion, and will introduce the diet system along with those sauropods. This will have many of us players making sure that we eat the right type of food, and which will give us those perks from Update 4 a little bit quicker. And finally, Update 7 will bring back the highly coveted nesting mechanic from Legacy, which adds a very unique way to play the game. Trying to raise other players as your offspring, or being hatched in as a player with protective parents, is an experience super unique to these dinosaur survival games that I'm a big fan of. And all of these updates are leading up to the final and main aspect of the Isle Evrima, and that is their Elder system. Now, the Elder system is going to be what ties everything together for this game, and will be the ultimate goal for the player. The Elder system will work something like this. Once you have grown your dinosaur to full adult and have lived for a while, you'll get two options. One option is to die peacefully, allowing you to transfer those perks that you've gained through using the diet system properly to the next life you live as that specific species. This allows a player to basically main a dinosaur over and over again to keep making it stronger. The other option is to become an elder, making you much stronger than you ever were as the adult version of that species. But your time as an elder is limited. While you will be the alpha dinosaur for a while, your elders will get even older and eventually will become weaker than they were at full adult. So while you have a bit of time to become the most powerful version of your dinosaur for a bit, eventually death will come knocking at your door. This Elder System gameplay loop is the main aspect to be excited for in Evrima, in my opinion. It will give you purpose in how you play the game and will allow you to main a dinosaur to become the best player of that species on your server. And that's pretty exciting and fun in my opinion. And I'm going to personally be making sure that I'm the best Magiosaurus Sauropod player once Update 5 comes out, because long necks are the best. What Path of Titan hopes to bring to the table. Now, something I need to mention here first about the future of Path of Titans is the large amount of dinosaur options to play with. Evrima currently only has 6 dinosaurs to choose from, and while they all have unique abilities to play with, Path of Titans already has 9 carnivores and 8 herbivores to choose from, and plan to add many, many more. Honestly, since I've started paying attention to this game at the start of 2021, the speed of updates and additions to this game have been very impressive and promising, so there's a very big plus towards the future of Path of Titans. The most recent dev blog also addressed some of the main concerns I have with this game, which has me even more hyped for the future of this game. So while they know that the MMO questing system is their main appeal to the game, they're also bringing in the growth system and nesting systems we all have loved so much from the Isle. This will make questing even more exciting, as they're able to add simple quests such as reach full adult or hatch 2 eggs, giving you a reason to do these systems even more than just for fun. They have also showed off that they are very aware of the current lack of gameplay loop needed to make a game complete. Like the Isle, currently there's no reason to continue playing over and over again unless you just really like being the dinosaur. Now, there is the caveat of Path of Titans having the skin system to unlock those new colors, but beyond that, there is really no gameplay loop. But they recently added a new diet system similar to the one Evrima will have that I mentioned. This has players making sure that they eat the proper food to survive, but also will help eventually allow them to get quests to hunt out and eat specific foods around the map, helping unlock those skins and abilities with the coins you gain. They have even announced a very interesting take to these quests, as they will be able to have group quests and even guild quests. Guild quests in a dinosaur game. Very cool. I can already see guilds forming around similar types of players. Love to play in a herbivore herd? There's likely to be a guild for that. Want to roam around and hunt as a predator pack? Guaranteed there will be a guild for that. And if they ever add a giant Sauropod into Path of Titans, you can be sure that I'll be making the Sauropod Squad guild just for that. Evrima Pros. So now that we know what both games have to offer, and what both games plan to bring to the game in the future, let's compare them and see which each have over the other. The main pro for me with Evrima is the graphics. The gameplay systems involving stiffing and tracking, and that each of the dinosaurs have unique abilities to play with. I also have not yet mentioned the movement in each game and how that feels, but I have to give it to Evrima. The dinosaurs have weight to them, the movement feels very solid, fast dinosaurs are able to turn quickly, skidding in the dirt, and thus are able to be very agile during combat. This is very important to me as a player, as the tail riding meta we grew to know in Legacy is kinda lackluster for me personally, and Evrima has fixed that. Path of Titans combat is a bit in the middle of Evrima and Legacy. While the dinosaurs in Path of Titans are faster and feel better than in Legacy, the lack of skidding from Evrima adds just a bit to be desired. But Path of Titans does have alt turn for precise movements, and the fact that your dinosaur's speed changes when going up and down a hill feels very good. So for movement and combat, I have to give it to Evrima. If that's what you want in a dinosaur survival game, I would very much recommend Evrima. Path of Titan pros. The main pro for me with Path of Titans, however, is the map and the general idea of questing. Having a goal to do at all times in the game is very important, and while Evrima plans to guide the player with the diet system and the perk system to gain elder powers, it's not as straightforward as having a quest on the side of your screen to focus on. And going forward with Path of Titans development and getting the group questing sounds very cool to dive into. The map is also very impressive and immersive, and I can't boast enough about how cool it is to wander. The sound effects of the game could use some work, however, and since the game is in early development, most people would just hang out in one spot, which is called Corpse Cove. So while the map is fantastic, it can feel kinda empty with being so huge. However, the new update with the water system has really aided in spreading out players, so that is a good pro. Evrima map has specifically been cut into a fifth of what it will eventually be, and they are changing the map slowly over time with the updates, but currently it does not stand up to be as interesting as the Path of Titans map. So if you're looking for a large, interesting map to explore, Path of Titans would easily be my recommendation for that. Cons for Evrima. Some quick cons for each game, however. Evrima development speed has been, shall we say, slow. But each update has given us pretty polished finished products. So while they come out months apart, they have been very solid updates, and each one plans to be a huge addition to the game. Evrima also has a lack of species to choose from due to the recent rework of the game. Having only 6 species means you're gonna run into the same few quite often, and while adding a flying Pteranodon and a swimming Deinosuchus very soon with Update 3 will add to that list, it's still a noticeable difference between the two games. And as I mentioned just now, Evrima's map is lacking in comparison to Path of Titans. Some Path of Titans cons. Some cons for Path of Titans, however, is how sluggish some of the dinosaurs can feel, and while it's not as bad as Isle Legacy, well, it's not as fast and polished as Evrima has. And since this game leans heavily on its questing system, the fact that there are only a few quests currently in the game leaves a lot to be desired. Sound design for Path of Titans could also use a huge overhaul, as it gets kind of boring wandering the huge map, be it a fantastically diverse map. The current lack of a growth system is also worth mentioning, but that's yet another thing they plan to bring out, so it's a small con for just right now. So looking into the future, both games seem to be full of updates and fantastically cool ideas. Evrima plans to be your most realistic dinosaur simulator, where the sniffing mechanic will aid you in searching for the right food to aid in the diet system, working to boost your dinosaur with perks, all aiming towards becoming more powerful and eventually becoming the elder dinosaur to rule the island for your stretch of time as alpha. And Path of Titans aims to be a massively multiplayer dinosaur survival game, where not only can you grow, nest, and fight your way through plentiful amounts of dinosaur species, but the questing system plans to be unique, varied, and be the core gameplay loop for the game as you unlock new abilities and skins. So there you have it, folks. There's my take on the Isle versus Path of Titans, and which each have to offer. I really do hope you liked this video. Both of these games are awesome to play, and personally I'm going to be playing both of them as they evolve going forward. Eventually, the Isle plans to add those humans and savages to the game, which will really set it apart and make it unique, but as for the core dinosaur gameplay, both have their unique aspects which appeal to me. I'll be making videos on both going forward, so if you like this video, please consider dropping me a like and subscribing to see more from me going forward. I'm really trying to beat this YouTube algorithm and get up to 1,000 subscribers to make this more or less a full-time job for me in the future, to keep making fun, cool, and informative videos for all of us to enjoy. So thank you genuinely for that if you choose to. Alright all, whether it be roaming in the Isle Spyro and Evrima, or questing in Pandora and Path of Titans, I hope to see you all out there enjoying these two dinosaur games. No matter where you are in the world, I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, and until next time guys, peace out.